The Mulberry Phosphate Museum presents Self-Care Saturdays, the how and why of self-care, with Week 1, Sleep. Only 10% of Americans would say that sleep is as important a form of self-care as exercise and nutrition. However, only 1 out of 3 adults is getting enough sleep according to the National Sleep Foundation. Are you getting enough sleep? Let's take a look at the science and function of this form of self-care. Sleep occurs when nerve signaling chemicals tell us that it's either time to be awake or asleep. The precise influence isn't exactly known yet, so think of it like an on-off switch with brain chemicals. Our circadian rhythms are the pattern in which our bodies naturally wake and fall asleep, which is triggered by light and darkness, which stimulates the release of melatonin, a sleep hormone in our bodies. So while we are technically at rest, our brain and body are doing quite a bit while we're sleeping. This is a chance for the body to heal, bones grow, muscles repair, and our brain is taking this time to interpret and organize information from the day. Even though we are resting, we're going through stages of sleep. In stage 1, we're in light sleep. We'll drift in and out and jump when startled. Stage 2, our eye movements stop and brain waves become slower with occasional bursts of activity. In stage 3, deep sleep begins. Delta waves that are very slow brain waves appear, which are mixed with smaller, faster waves. Deep sleep continues in stage 4, almost exclusively delta waves now, and when you wake, you'll feel groggy, and this is where sleepwalking in children occurs. It's very difficult to wake someone out of a stage 4 deep sleep. The REM stage, or a rapid eye movement stage, is where dreams happen. Our breathing becomes more rapid and shallow, the eyes will jerk rapidly, our heart rate increases, and this happens first about 70 to 90 minutes after falling asleep. Studies suggest that emotional responses are absent, which gives the brain a chance to chemically reset. The sleep cycle continues as we sleep, and as night progresses, our REM stage lasts longer and deep sleep stages decrease. Children and adults spend almost 50% of total sleep time in stage 2, 20% in REM, but infants spend about half in deep sleep. Well, we covered what sleep is, but how much do we actually need? That's going to change depending on age. An infant needs up to 16 hours of sleep. A 2-year-old 14, 9-year-old 12 hours. In general, adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep for optimal health. It's no surprise that in our mid to late 20s, we have the best ability to function with insufficient sleep. But this ability sharply declines in our early 40s. Adults over 65 need around 7 to 8 hours of sleep as well, even though they are the demographic that reports the most issues with sleep. With 2 out of 3 Americans not getting enough sleep, the CDC has declared it a public health epidemic. With not enough sleep, the severity of diabetes, hypertension, and obesity increase. The same protein that regulates your circadian rhythms controls the level of glucose produced by your liver. After only 1 night of insufficient sleep, a person's pain threshold can decrease by 15%. Inadequate sleep in young children can affect brain development and socialization, and they need more sleep than adults do. Teens without enough sleep feel effects in the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, which increases the likelihood of risky behavior. You'll have reduced emotional resources for managing negative emotions and reduced empathy. Without enough sleep, you'll have a harder time focusing and concentrating. Inadequate sleep is linked to nearly 1/5 of serious car crashes. Not enough sleep can dramatically impact your life, but enough sleep can also greatly benefit you. Better sleep restores prefrontal brain activity, which deals with emotions. It reduces stress. And because your brain is busy storing data while sleeping, your memory improves. Your blood pressure reduces. The production of extra protein molecules strengthens the ability for the body to fight infection, regulates hormones that affect appetite and cravings. You'll be in a better mood, and because stress and inflammation are reduced, you'll have a healthier heart. Pain will be reduced, and your brain will be more effective and productive with learning and focus. Basically, you'll be as happy as a seal taking a nap on the beach. Now that we know sleep is important, how can we improve it? Have a cool, dark bedroom. Keep a consistent temperature and make your bedroom a place that you want to sleep in. Avoid caffeine from mid-afternoon on. That afternoon cup of coffee might be interrupting your sleep. Include natural light in your morning. Exposure to early morning light signals for the body to release melatonin earlier in the evening, causing you to become drowsy at an earlier hour. Try a weighted blanket. It's the same theory as swaddling a baby by using comforting pressure, reducing anxiety. And eliminate screens at bedtime. Light from TVs can still go through eyelids, which makes the brain think it's awake, stopping deep sleep and speeding up the heart rate. Have a proper mattress. Try changing it every 7 years, which will give you proper support and reduce allergens. Remember, it's a weekly average. Don't stress about one bad night. Notice patterns for a week. Yep, naps are good, ideally for 20 minutes, which will give you a cognitive boost and is good for your immune system. Don't try to make up for the sleep that you missed last night with a really long nap in the afternoon, however. Rather, use the sleep pressure to help yourself regulate the next night. I hope you enjoyed our first session of Self-Care Saturdays. Get a good week's rest and tune in next Saturday for another edition of the Mulberry Phosphate Museum's Self-Care Saturdays.